G'day legends, today obviously I'm doing another solar review video. So what you can see up here on the ute is the San Hima 360 watt solar blanket. So let's rip into it. Now full disclosure, as always with you guys, San Hima and Vic Off-Road have sent this thing out for me to review and test, and they are after my honest feedback. Now with that in mind, I do have a giveaway for you guys. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video and you can get your hands on one of these 360 watt solar blankets. Now there's a few things I want to go over about the solar blanket and show you guys how it actually fits into our 12 volt system and how I'm running it with our fixed solar panel that's currently up on the roof. Now the first thing you'll notice about the solar blanket is, one, how bloody dirty it is, because I've been using this thing flat out for about the last month and a half. Now secondly, you might be able to see on camera the surface of these solar cells. Now these things are actually very flexible and really durable. I can actually bend these cells and not damage any of them at all. The reason for that is that San Hima have designed this thing with durability in mind. Solar blankets tend to get bounced around, bumped around and thrown around your car a fair bit. So with that in mind, these things are supposed to be built pretty durable and up to any of the conditions that you're going to have bouncing around in the back of your car. Now in terms of power output, for me, I'm not just running this thing as a solo blanket. I have tested it out that way, but I'm running this thing in conjunction with a 110 watt fixed panel up on the roof. Now, with this and the 110 watt panel, I've been able to easily max out my Victron 20 amp charger, giving us a total of maxed out power of 285 watts. Now that's just what my charger can output. That being said, I have hooked this thing up to a 30 amp charger and I've had it upwards of 350 watts on a good day in hot temperature. And this thing is pretty much smack bang on where it should be. Now, talking about power, I'll just put this up on the screen so you can follow along, but this is the formula that you have to follow to find out how many amps you're putting in to your battery. Right over here is the power triangle. Now, this is something that I learned as a first year apprentice, and it's pretty basic. So, we'll put the P up the top for power. Down the bottom, you're going to have your I for current or amps, and your V right next to it for voltage. To find out any of these, cover up that hole. For current, we want to cover up the I. We want to find out I, so it is P over V, which means power divided by voltage. 360 watts divided by 12 volts. Now, this is going to be your rated power or your rated current. That's only going to give you best case scenario at these given values. Your voltage goes up, current comes down. Your voltage goes down, your current goes up. All three of these values are going to work in together. But 360 divided by 12, you end up with a rated current of 30 amps. Now when it comes to how our solar blanket ties into our 12 volt system, I've paralleled an incoming cable for an Anderson plug. So that's obviously where we're plugging in our solar blanket. Hardwired into our solar charger is a 110 watt fixed panel on the roof rack. Because these things are working in parallel, you're going to have 360 watts coming in from one, and you're going to have 110 watts coming in from another solar panel, giving us a total of 470 watts in theory. Now that for us is perfect. Every day that we have this solar blanket rolled out, we are actually maxing out the capacity that our charge controller can put back into the battery. I'll cut something up on the screen now so you guys can see just how much power we're putting in, but we pretty well tend to get this from mid-morning through till later on in the afternoon, usually around the 3-4 o'clock. It really does maximize how much solar energy you're putting back into your battery. Now something that I am a really big fan of are these little dust covers that they put over the end of the Anderson plugs. These things are absolutely awesome. They just protect your Anderson plugs when you put them away in storage. Even when you have them in the back of the ute, if they're plugged in, they just stop dust and things getting into those terminals and corroding up all the contacts that you have between your Anderson plugs. Really good idea. Further than that, they've actually gone and put cable boots over the ends of the cable where the cable meets up with the Anderson plugs, making sure that no dust or moisture for that matter can get into that cable and ruin some of them terminals. But a really good idea by San Hima. I really like that. Some more stuff that I really love that San Hima have done is they've thrown in an MPPT charge controller up to, I believe, 30 amps. I'll chuck that on the screen now. I just can't remember off the top of my head what it is. Also, they've put on an attachment for Anderson plug to alligator clips. So if you're using this thing as a temporary charging supply, you can just alligator clip onto your battery, plug it in, and away you go and charging. So really nice couple of features there from San Hima. I love that they've included the charger, and I love that they've included a secondary way to charge a battery, not just an Anderson plug plugging into an existing installation. This is pretty standard now when it comes to solar blankets, but it is definitely a nice feature to have in the bag in case A, your solar charger dies on you, or B, you don't have an Anderson plug to plug into. Now for the most part, I've absolutely loved having this solar blanket up until this point. There are a couple of issues that I have seen with it so far. One of them being the UV damage that can occur to these sort of solar blankets. Now this is a problem that I've seen in every solar blanket that I've ever owned. The problem that I see is these things are designed to be in the sun, yet the material that links the solar cells together is always wearing out and is always getting damaged by the UV rays that are beaten down on it. Now look, honestly, I don't really think there's much that can be done about that. UV rays and solar energy by its own nature is going to damage stuff like canvas and products like that. So all the interweaving, the stitching, the stuff that goes into the solar cells, you're probably never going to get around that. But that is maybe the only weak point of this solar blanket that I've seen so far. Alright, giveaway time.
Alright, so remember when I told you at the start of the video that I've got a giveaway for you guys?
Now, with that in mind, I do have a giveaway for you guys.
Hang around and check this out because this is how you get in the draw.
Best part of the video. So, thank you guys for hanging around this long. If you have already, I really do appreciate it. And if you want to get your hands on one of these 360 watt solar blankets from San Hima, all you've got to do is like this video, share it with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Guys, this is going to be up for, I don't know, let's say 10 days from when this video is posted. So, if you want to get in the draw, guys, make sure you like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want a couple of bonus entries, share on Instagram and Facebook, and make sure you tag at Out and About. I'll chuck it on the screen there so you can see it. But make sure you tag us on Instagram and Facebook for a bonus entry on each platform. So good luck, and I hope that I'll be sending it out to you in the next 10 days. Now, something else that sort of spun me out as well when I got this solar blanket was the range of different ways you can use this thing. So with my experience of solar blankets, I've usually just laid them out over my bonnet and my windscreen. But these things have actually got sewn in little hooks on every one of the solar cells, which means you can hang this thing up and sort of direct it towards the sun whichever way you want. As well as that, you can lay this thing up over your roof, hood and windscreen in one go, or you can lay it straight across your windscreen or your hood as well. So a bunch of different ways you can use this thing. So guys, these are my first thoughts on the San Hima 360 watt solar blanket. So far, so good. I hope I've given you guys some valuable information if you've been looking in the market for a solar blanket. Guys, if you've gotten some value out of this video, I really would appreciate if you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so you can stay up to date on all of these sort of reviews that we do. And all the trips that we get up to this year, it's going to be a massive one. So guys, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, get out and about, and I'll see you in the next one.